In this video I'll be discussing question set number 34, and this question also will be based on the scenario that I spoke of in the 31st question set, and also I'll be using the same database that I created in that previous video. So in the first question of this question set, I've been told to enter the data in the table below into the user type table. Now to enter data into this table, I'll be using queries, and also I'll be using HDSQL as a software to enter data. So first of all, I'm going to open up HDSQL, and now after selecting the user type table, I'm going to now first add the two user types using insert queries. So to do that, I need to first type insert into. After that, I need to give the name of that table, user type, and in between the brackets I need to mention the user type name column, because I don't need to manually add any data into the user type ID column, because that is set to auto increment. So over here I need to use grave assets and then type user type name. After that, I need to set the values for this table column. So in between the brackets of this, I need to first use single quotes, and in between the single quotes I need to type these three user types. So the first one will be employee. I'll just copy it from me and paste it over here, and this will be the first query to add this first user type into this user type table. Next, I need to add these two user types as well. So for that, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just copy this query that I typed and then change the values of that query. I'm going to change this one to customer, and the other one I'm going to change it to supplier. So now after typing these three queries, I need to only execute it. So over here, if I execute it and then check the data section, over here we can see that all three user types have been added into this table, and that will be the answer for the first question of this question set. Now in the second question, I've been told to enter the data into the city table, and I need to add these data into that table. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to HDSQL and go to the query section. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase these three queries and then type a new insert query to add the data. So I'm going to begin by typing insert into, and in between the brackets I need to add two grave assets and then type city. Sorry, this should come before the brackets. And in between the brackets I need to use grave assets, and after that I need to give the columns that I'm going to add data into. So I need to type city name only, because the city ID column is set to auto increment. After that I need to type values, and in between the brackets I need to use single quotes and then type the name of the city. The first name is Colombo, and that will be the first query that will enter data into the city table. Now since I've been given 5 different city names, I need to type another 4 more queries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first copy this and then change the values in between the brackets. The first will be Kandy, after that Kurunegala, after that the third will be Matale, and the fourth will be Matale, and the fifth will be Gampa. And now after typing these 5 insert queries, I only need to execute it. So now if I execute this and then go to the data section and reload it, you can see that all 5 cities have been added into this city table, and that will be the answer for the second question. And now the third question, I've been told to enter data into the gender table. So for that, again I'm going to first go to ADSQL, then go to the query section and then erase these queries and then type insert into gender, and after that in between the brackets I need to add this column gender name, because again in this gender ID is also set to auto increment, so I don't need to manually add any data into it. After that I need to use grave assets in between the brackets and then type gender name. After that type values, and in between the brackets I need to use single quotes and then type the gender name. First will be male, and after that to add the other gender name I need to first select this query and paste it here. So now after typing these 2 queries I need to only execute it, and after executing this query I can go here and refresh it, and over here we can see that both genders have been entered into this table. So that will be the answer for the third question. And now in the fourth question I've been told to enter the data into the user table. So to do this I'm going to first go to ADSQL again and then erase these queries and then type a new query by typing insert into the user table, and in between these brackets I need to use grave assets and then type the columns of this user table. Now since the user ID is set to auto increment, I don't need to manually add any data into that. Instead I need to add data into these few columns. So the first column will be first name, and the second will be last name, the third and fourth will be contact number and status. After that I need to add the user type ID, address ID and gender ID. So after mentioning the columns, next I need to type in the values. So I need to type values, and in between the brackets I need to add single quotes, and then I need to type these values that have been given. So for the first name I need to type Tilan, and the last name should be Tennakon. The contact number should be this number, and the status will be 1. The user type ID is also 1. Same with the address and the gender ID as well. So this is how the query will look like for entering the first row into the table, and just like that I need to enter 6 more rows into this table. So I need to create 6 more queries for that. So after adding the rest of the queries, I need to only execute all of these. So now when I execute this query, I'll be getting an error like this, and the reason for that is because I haven't added any data into the address table yet. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to first copy this and then save it in my notepad. After that I'm going to first type in insert query that will add data into the address table. So I need to first type insert into address, and after that I need to mention these columns. So the first column will be number, and after that street 1, street 2, after that I need to type user ID, and after that city ID, and after that I need to add the values. And for the values I need to add these data given in this table. So first I'm going to copy and paste this data into this table. Next I need to copy the street 1 and the street 2, and after that I need to add the city ID. So this will be it for adding data into the first row of the address table. So just like that I need to type 4 more queries to add the rest of the rows. So once after adding all the queries for adding data into the address table, I only need to execute it. So now after executing it, I need to go to the data section, and now you can see that all the data has been added into the address table. So now I can add data into the user table as well. For that I can copy this query that I typed earlier and then paste it, and then now I can execute this. So now if I go to the user table and then view the data, just like this, I can see that all the data has been added. So that will be the answer for the 4th and the 5th question. And now in the final question I've been told to add data into the system login table. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first erase this query and then type insert into system login, and after that I need to add these columns that I'm going to add data into. So the first column will be username, second will be password, and the third will be the user ID. So the second one will be password, the third will be user ID, next I need to add the values. So the first value in this will be Thilan. I'll just copy paste it into that query. The password will be this password, and the user ID will be 1. So this will be the query that will enter data into that table. So I need to add another user, so for that I'm going to copy this query and then paste it here and then change the values in this query. So after changing the data in this second query, now I only need to execute this two queries. So after executing this query, I only need to go to the data section, and after that over here we can see that both the rows have been added into this table. So that will be the answer for the sixth question, and that also will be the final question for question set 34. So that's all for this video.